I walked into the gym today and I quickly realized that the three squat racks were busy. And not busy with anybody. Two of the squat racks had what seemed to be two powerlifters. And you know how that goes. Usually, like the general powerlifter takes a long time between sets, 5-10 minutes sometimes. Sitting down on the phone, waiting in between sets. And then there's also, a third person on another rack down the furthest away. And there was a lady there that was doing her business, lunging with no weight in the squat rack. She had like a plate on the ground to elevate it. It's a public gym. People can do whatever they want. Even if you want to curl in the squat rack, you can do that. They pay their fees just as much as me. But I walked in and I kind of made a quick assessment. I'm like, okay, this is probably going to be like 15, 20, 30-minute wait. And I hate that bit about the gym the most, when you come in with a plan and that plan is, put upside down because of availability of the equipment. So then I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, cool. If I was in my, strength mentality, I'd be like, damn, what am I going to do now? I have to wait for the squat rack. But because I'm thinking about the bodybuilding stuff now a lot and thinking about hypertrophy, variation, all that, I just thought, cool, this is a nice little opportunity for me to hit hack squats as a first exercise, which I haven't done at all. So I jumped in. It was kind of weird that I would come into a gym and just get into a machine straight away. That's weird. That's kind of a first. But I went in, warmed up, with no weight, and started adding some plates. And I got to 4 plates, and I got 6 reps out of that. My previous one was 5. So that was a bit of improvement there. And then instead of going, 160, 140, 100, one plate. I don't know why I'm calling it kilos, because it's not kilos. Who knows what the kilos are? Instead of, going, smaller jumps down, I just went, drop it a plate, 3 plates, and just do 5 sets of 10. And that freaking murdered me. I'm still nauseous from doing that. I don't know whether you feel the same way, but when I do quads, when I do high repetition squats, nausea hits me, man. I don't know, quite understand what it is. It's probably something to do with the hip flexors, because the hip flexors kind of go through the abdomen and insert or originate in the thoracic spine, lumbar spine. So maybe they get kind of like pumped up, and then there's, I don't know, pressure issues in the gut or whatever. That's why the nausea happens. But I got nausea, and the last 2 sets took me a little while to get through. Took like 5 minutes, 5 good minutes in between those sets. And then after all of that, I went to the squat rack and I felt horrible. As I was doing the hack squats, I thought to myself, if I end up going to the bar right now and I squat 180, I can pretty freaking confidently say that my quads are not being used for the squat at all. Like, how can I put them through such a freaking gauntlet of exercise and then come out on the other end and still hit, my usual, single for the day? But what in fact happened was, no, I didn't hit any of that weight. I got to 3 plates, and that felt like I was going to, I felt like it just dropped me on the eccentric, and felt very shaky on the way up. So yes, I do use my quads when I squat. It's hard to gauge how much percentage on the rest of it, but if you do an exercise before your main movement and that exercise makes no difference to how you do this exercise, do your main movement, then how do you not conclude that, okay, whatever I just didn't affect that? So if this hack squats, if I did 5 sets of 10 of grueling sets, and I went to the bar and I hit 180, now what the hell is that? Either I didn't work hard enough with the hack squats, or I don't even use the muscles that the hack squats are training over here in the main movement, in the squat. But what in fact happened was, I was very much affected. Very much so. These hack squats are starting to feel better. I still don't have a full pressure on my feet. Like, I still feel like when I'm pushing through the balls of my feet. I never feel like I'm pushing through my heels. Especially at the depth, I feel like I always tipping my way forward. So I don't know what that tells me, but they're starting to feel a bit more comfortable. I'm going through the motion comfortably now, and I reckon in the next few months the comfort is going to only increase, and I might be able to get to 5 plates. It's very hard to see whether there's going to be a carryover directly to the squat or not when I'm in the heat of the battle. I'm carrying fatigue. I'm doing this every 4 days. It's a lot of volume. But I'm really, really intrigued to see if it's gonna carry over. Like we all say, it doesn't really matter if it does carry over or not. The fact is, if you get to a certain level of the hack squat, 4 plates, 5 plates, 6 damn plates, whatever, and you start to smash that and you see progression in that machine, I think the specificity is close enough to the main movement to be of value. You know, big quads or bigger quads are never going to be a detriment to you. We can confidently say that, at least. If you get yourself a pair of big ass quads, okay, you know, good for you. But it's never going to be, oh, damn it, my quads are too big and it's screwing up my squat. That's not going to happen. And so at least we can conclude that. Whether this is the best exercise for the quads or for the squat in general, I don't know. I've never really ventured down this path before, but I'm quite confident to say that it's a pretty good use of my time. After a number of weeks of this, probably another 2-3 weeks of this, I'll switch that over with belt squats. Next week I'm going back to work, so I don't know how it's gonna affect the whole gym training. I'll try my best, at least on the day when I'm supposed to do the hack squat, at least make my way to the gym, because that's kind of the most important day. But eventually I'll swap it over for the belt squat, which I have at home, and it's going to be, I think, a good time for me. And that's kind of why I pushed the hack squat while I've been on annual leave, because it's probably going to be, harder to access it when I'm back at work. So, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's a great movement. It feels great. My quads are definitely getting lit up. My quads, I feel like have grown in the last 2 weeks. I definitely feel that 2-3 weeks. Whether that is going to translate to strength or not, my potential has gone up. My strength base has gone wider. You know what they say about, if you want to have a really tall pyramid, you're going to have a really wide base. So all of this stuff that I'm doing right now is just simply increasing the base so I can reach a taller height. So I can get high with my pyramid. And the top of that pyramid is your 1 rep max. So at least that's what I'm doing. I've never trained my quads like this in my life. Never have I had pumps like this in my life. I've always been anti anything other than squat for legs. It's taken me a long, long while to kind of concede that was a wrong thing to think. Not everyone is built the same. Not everyone's going to have value in every exercise known to man. You're going to have to pick and choose and work out what works for you. If you naturally get into a squat flat-footed with no shoes, elevations, nothing like that, and you can sit there and sleep there in that position, my friend, I don't think you need the hack squat. You just need to squat more and your legs will grow, right? If you are a guy that sticks his ass back into the next room when he's squatting, the hack squat is probably a benefit for you. The belt squat is probably a benefit for you, because that anterior part of your leg is probably really weak in comparison to your glutes and your hamstrings. And that's kind of where I find myself. And so these machines that force me into a different motor neuron pattern, the sequencing is all whack when I'm in the hack squat machine. Like, what do you mean I'm going to just go straight down? That's weird. Like, I need to stick my ass back. No. There's a thing behind you preventing your ass sticking back. And so it's kind of teaching my body, oh, look, there's a bit of muscle at the front of that thigh. You can use that sometimes if you like. It's probably going to be of benefit for you. And so for me, that's really good, If you're somebody that, like we said in the earlier scenario, you are comfortable in squatting, you're an upright squatter, like an elevator up and down, you're probably going to have to think about your lower back strength, your glutes and hamstrings. You're probably going to have to spend a lot of time thinking not to slip a disc, because squatty people tend to have trouble with deadlifts and hinging in general. That's going to be your weakest link. It's just the way it is, man. It's just physics. If you have a really long torso and you lean over, well, between your butt and your head is a greater distance in relation between your butt and your floor. And so with me, I've got this short torso, long legs. It's just the way it is, right? My pelvis is higher in my frame of height. And so when I lean over, it's kind of like not as bad as somebody with a long torso. So we all have something to work on. And I think this machine is really, really good for me. And to be honest with you, even if I treat the hack squat as a primary and I just come in and do this more often, when I come in and just hit it straight, that's kind of what I need to do. But definitely the hack squat training today has weakened me for the barbell, which in a roundabout way tells me that I'm kind of doing the right training and my squat will benefit from the hack squat. I think at least that can be concluded safely. Appreciate you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.